रिकॉर्डिंग चल रहा है
इस बार वो लास्ट वो रखा है स्पीचेस में राइस आपको बोल रहा पहले भी जस्ट स्मॉल मीटिंग है लास्ट नहीं हमेशा ये करते हैं
अपने पास
थोड़ा सर को बोल देना साइड में थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे आइए यहाँ पे
क्या बात है
सामने सर को थोड़ा पीछे करो पुलिस वाले थैंक यू
इधर सामने सामने मेन अट्रैक्शन मेन जगह
भैया कैमरा
दिनेश सर surrounded by 10 girls
सामने भी सामने सर सामने देखिए
दिनेश सर इसमें स्टार आप नहीं है अच्छा मुकेश भी है इसमें तो आ जाओ फिर फोटो की मेरी फोटो नहीं आई Look here, all the girls and boys.
भैया कैमरा पीछे करो
ऐसा लगता है तुझे? अरे आप तुम भी आ जाते भाई फोटो में।
वो रजिस्टर करा है ना नहीं करा
बोलिए मैम तो पूरा
आपके साथ
एक इससे खींचना भाई
आइए
सर आइए
मस्त
अरे भैया
और
पीछे
बीच में आइए
नहीं, अब हमारे साथ
सर पीछे
भैया भैया फोन वाले भैया
भाई सामने तक
और पीछे वाइड में
सामने 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 देख
मेरा वाला फोन दे देना
मनोज
आए तो एंट्री हुई ना
आइए रचना जी
भाई इधर का भी वाइड घुमा दें
सारी जगह वाइट ही घुमाते हैं
कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएगा जल्दी। प्रेसिडेंट साहब तो यहाँ खड़े हैं। मैडम आ जाओ इधर आ जाओ लाइन में लग जाओ
तेरे यहाँ फ्री होगा ना
कोई नहीं नमस्ते भाईजान आ जाओ बैठो
ले लो भाई साहब उधर भी ले लो
से जरा
पीछे आ जाओ एक स्टेप वाइट पे उधर खड़े हो वहाँ पे बस वाइट पे ले लो वो तो सारे चेहरे में ये एंट्री लो जो आ रहे हो जो एंट्री हो
थोड़ा और पीछे आओ
हेलो गुड मॉर्निंग
आप मैम थोड़ा आगे हो जाना आगे
हाँ 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 बोल रहे हैं नहीं कोई बात नहीं अच्छा मैं अभी नहीं लिंक बना मैं अभी बोलता हूँ अभी करता हूँ अभी
लगन भी अच्छा है बारिश होने वाला है जी साहब आइए कैमरा
रख लो उधर रख लो मैंने एंट्री थोड़ा थोड़ा ना पीछे करवा लो
भैया
क्या कर रहे हैं
एक मिनट ठीक है जरा
खड़े हो जाओ, कोई नहीं आप अरे अरे पीछे पीछे सर हैप्पी सर हैप्पी बाइक नहीं आएगा
I am also wearing now. No, I just had, but there is no rest.
चल चल पीछे 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 और पीछे ईमान सारे कैमरे में तो दोबारा बाइक ले लिया
खड़े ऐसे हो गए लोग बेटे नीचे जरा निकल जाओ थोड़ा थोड़ा पीछे पीछे होने को कहते हैं ट्राइपॉड खोल दीजिए ट्राइपॉड खोल जाओ
एक एंगल ना इधर का ले ना आगे जाना पीछे लोग तेरे सामने वैसे ही नहीं आएंगे आगे आगे बढ़ेगा ना वहीं जगह गिर जाती है एक लाइन से लगे रहो
ये हाथ में करो भैया हाथ में साइड से होता ना खराब मत करो ध्यान से करो
थोड़ा सा हट
आइए आइए सर आप आगे इधर आए ना दूसरा बाजू वापस चलो 2 मिनट इधर हो एंट्री हो रही सामने जैसे सब निकल जाएगा ट्रैपॉड ये बोल रहे हैं
इसके शुरू मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ लगा हाँ उसको कवर करो
तो जब से यही तो बोल रहे
तभी हाँ
वाइड की जरूरत है ना यहाँ पे कह रहा ना वाइड नहीं चाहिए फिर यहाँ से झंडा पूरा आ रहा है हाँ लंबाई में लियो ये लो ये सब तुम एक सामने चले जाओ ना उस साइड तुम अलग एंगल ले लो तुम सामने चले जाओ सर अभी वहाँ से ले लो हाँ शॉट मारो ना
सभी कनेक्टेड है यूट्यूब से आपके सारे कैमरे? अच्छा,
यहाँ से दिखाओ पूरा वाइट।
किधर फ्लैग होस्ट के लिए किधर से जाएंगे? उधर वहाँ खड़े होंगे क्या?
अब सारी वाइट जा रही है।
All of you happy Independence Day.
बाद में फिर प्ले होगा।
आगे रखो ना फ्रेम।
हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी वहाँ पे असिस्टेंट भी होगा मैडम, देख लो जा, देखो माइक निकाल फटाफट जाओ। अब वो लड़का जाओ दिक्कत नहीं, 1 मिनट।
वही सारे लोग सबके बाद आते हैं देख के मेरी नहीं सुनते तो हम फिर नहीं कोई गया तो हम
हाँ हाँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं हाँ हाँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं ले लिया बात में लेंगे सर फ्लैग होस्टिंग के बाद भाई होने वाली है कितने बजते हैं मेरे साथ रहे
एंट्री
आगे आगे आगे
पास ही रखो इसको।
थोड़ा सा यहाँ जगह चाहिए होगी, मूवमेंट होगी यहाँ, थोड़ी मूवमेंट होगी। थोड़ा सा पीछे हो जाए, थोड़ा सा पीछे हो जाएगी, जगह दे देंगे, थोड़ा सा पीछे। तो ये थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे मूवमेंट आ जाओगे तो यहाँ से यूँ इसको आराम से आना पड़ेगा ना, यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे गार्ड ऑफ ऑनर के लिए जाएंगे परेड करते हुए, तो आपके हाथ लग जाएगा। पीछे हो जाओ, हो गया हो जाएंगे दिख जाएंगे।
हेलो, मैं फोन करता हूँ। मैं आपके साथ आ जाऊँ? यही
अरे एक भाई गार्ड ऑफ ऑनर कराएगा,
समझ गया
पीछे हो जाओ ना,
हो गया पीछे
और पीछे हो जाओ।
थोड़ा और पीछे आ जाओ।
उतना पीछे हो
अगर ये यूं करके यहाँ ऐसे ऐसे करके यहाँ तक आएंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? पीछे हो जाओ,
यहाँ तो वहाँ हो जाता है।
नहीं फोटो आप पूरी खींचो, बस थोड़ा पीछे खींचो। आप निकलने ऐसे आगे देख लो ताकि आपको
अभी हम कहाँ से फ्रेम बनाएंगे? झंडा तो आएगा नहीं इतना वाइट तो है नहीं। कहाँ से फ्रेम बनाएंगे? झंडा तो आएगा नहीं इतना वाइट तो है नहीं। हाँ वही करना पड़ेगा बस। वहाँ से वाइट है तो भी नहीं अगर लोग ज़्यादा हो गए।
थोड़ा सा पीछे।
अभी बताइए सर, वो गार्ड ऑनर वाला सीन रहेगा।
चल लगा रहा है माइक भी ऑन कर दो, मेरा माइक आपका माइक
कैसे हैं आप? मैं आपके पास थोड़ा बीच में आ जाऊँ? एक भी जगह दे दो सर, मैं बस थैंक यू। नीचे नीचे और बताओ, बहुत टाइम के बाद बैठ जाऊंगी।
मैडम बैठ जाइए आप, आप बैठ नहीं रहो, मम्मी सुनिए मैडम, आप पहले आ जाएंगे तो फिर नीचे बैठ जाइए, ऐसे खड़े ना आप। हाँ बैठ जाइए, आप बैठ जाइए नीचे, बैठिए आप नीचे।
भाई पीछे हो जा,
भाई पीछे पीछे।
भैया भैया सामने से हट जाओ, अंकल भैया पीछे हो जाओ, काम खराब हो जाएगा। भैया भैया नीचे नीचे बैठो, नीचे बैठो, नीचे बैठो।
चलिए हाथ अपने पास में रखो
भाई थोड़ा पीछे आ लो ना,
पीछे आ रहे हैं ना,
पीछे आ लो भैया थोड़ा, भैया थोड़ा
फ्लैशबैक कैमरा थोड़ा नीचे कर लो।
भैया नीचे डाउन है ना,
सुजला
शीतलां सस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं
एक मिनट ये निकलने
शुभ्रमुलचितया
चलिए 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 सर एक मिनट निकलो जल्दी जल्दी निकलो
ध्यान से
हाँ लाइट
May I request our President Mr. Vikas Singh and Mr. Pradeep Rai, Vice President SCBA, to kindly escort Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, and Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, to the dais.
उपेंद्र सर है, उपेंद्र सर
ठीक ठीक May I request Seema Patna, Member Executive SCBA, to kindly present a bouquet to Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India. May I request Mr. Upender Mishra, Member Executive SCBA, to kindly present a bouquet to Mr. Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice. May I request Ms. Sangeeta Singh, Member Executive SCBA, to kindly present a bouquet to Learned Solicitor General of India, Mr. Tushar Mehta. Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Rijiju Lalit, Chief Justice of India Designate, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, Learned Law Officer, Senior Advocates, Members of the Bar, a very good morning to all of you. Today, we all have gathered to celebrate the 75th Independence Day of our country. The celebrations would be incomplete without remembering the glorious sacrifices which our freedom fighters made for the independence of our nation. 15th of August gives us the feeling of prestige and patriotism, though we have within us all 365 days of the year. But today, we take the privilege to express our happiness, which can be made out by the zeal which many amongst us are dressed in our proud Tiranga colors. Our country, in these 75 years, have come a long way, but as we all know, the scope of betterment is always there. We all, as members of this prestigious institution, shall keep on fighting for justice and rights for all citizens of
Happy Independence Day to everyone. Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice N.V. Ramana, Honorable Mr. Kiren Rijiju, Minister Law and Justice, Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, CJI Designate, Mr. Vikas Singh, President SCBA, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Solicitor General of India, Rahul Kaushik, Secretary SCBA, Mr. Manoj Mishra, President SCORA, Mr. P.H. Parekh, 6-time President of SCBA, Mr. Devrat, Secretary SCORA, and Honorable Judges, Supreme Court of India, and distinguished members of the bar. This is celebration of 75th Independence Day, 80th Quit India movement, and 64th year of this building of Supreme Court of India. Prior to construction of this building, the Supreme Court used to function at Parliament House and that used to function from 37 to 50 and after independence also for a period of 8 years. When this building came into existence, it used to function only 28 days in a year and only 7 honorable judges were here in this court. But today we are 34 in number. Additional courtrooms have been constructed, and despite that there are so many lawyers is completely and some of the pendency it is alleged, but our judges, they are very hardworking, they are contributing a lot and they are protectors of fundamental rights. They have completely have independent judiciary, which is a kind of a statement for a free, independent Indian Republic. Our Supreme Court emblem has 32 chakras, which has been taken from Asoka Astam. The 32 chakras means that they have to deliver justice to everyone, and the slogan is for they have to keep the dharma and they have to protect the dharma and justice for each and every citizen of India. Our Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, who is the head of NALSA, he has given justice to the poor people through NALSA. He has tried his best to travel even from each and every state, and from there they have organized Lok Adalats, they have organized free legal aid camps, and I am proud to make a statement that none of our Supreme Court senior advocates had ever charged a single penny from Supreme Court Legal Services Authority. They all are providing free legal justice. My lord, India is a country where we all can see many centuries traveling together. We can find people on the bullock cart, we can find people on rickshaw, we can find people on Mercedes, and some of them is still riding in chartered planes. But justice has to be equal for each and everyone. We have to think about those. When we decide this, we have to remember Gandhiji's Jantar, which says that we have to think about the last man of the society when we act anything, and we have to ensure that our actions are going, what kind of impact going to give on the last man. We are we have to think about those who are happy in a house of 50,000 rupees. We have to think about those who are happy by construction of toilets only in 12,000 rupees. If we care for them, that is the greatest success of our democracy. We have to take care of our municipal courts because that is the backbone of our justice. I know Honorable Kiren Rijiju for a long time. I met him first time in 2003 when a delegation of Home Ministry went to Arunachal Pradesh. Those days he was member of Khadi Gramodyog Board. Thereafter again I visited with another delegation of Union of India, and he was being a young leader, I had seen a spark in him. Mr. Rijiju, this is the time when whatever you used to tell me for last 20 years, now you have the chair. You have to give us judicial vista in which we all get the chambers for lawyers and even enough room for the courtroom. This is not the occasion for demanding anything, but this is kind of vision what you used to see and you had that in your concept. Honorable Justice Ramana is really, we are grateful to you, sir, that at least chambers has been inaugurated and given to our members. There is requirement of another chamber building for which Honorable Justice Ramana has agreed, and I hope Honorable Justice Uday Lalit's time we will have foundation stone and Justice Chandrachud time it will be completed. Whenever we talk, sometimes I am pained to see that people make a statement about Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was a person, when he came to India in 1916, first time he said that I am not going to obey the order of district magistrate in Champaran, and he found a way staying outside of the border of district Champaran. That kind of courage was rare those days, and gradually from there to non-cooperation, then to civil disobedience, and then finally in 1942 the Quit India movement. This freedom has not come in easy way. We have to protect it. We have to think about it, that how our great freedom fighters are contributed. Many unsung heroes are there. I am really grateful to Honorable Prime Minister also that he is remembering all those and those unsung heroes who have contributed in the nation. There have been several scientists, there have been several freedom fighters, several honorable judges, but whenever we think about this great institution, we are always proud of it, that honorable judges, they have protected the fundamental rights and they have taken care of each and every one. Today, the image of this country is such that recently we saw in Ukraine that whenever refugee students, they were trying to cross the borders, even a student of Pakistan and other countries, they were carrying Indian flag so that they can get refused. This talks volume about the respect of our country. I am really grateful, sir, that you all are here, and I welcome each one of you, all the members of Supreme Court Bar Association, ISKORA, and many senior members. Thank you so much. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you, Pradeep sir. May I now request Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, to kindly give his address.
My Lord, the Chief Justice of India, Shri Kiren Rijiju ji, the Honorable Minister for Law and Justice, Justice Lalit, the Honorable CJI Designate, the Honorable Judges, and my dear friends. Friends, at the outset, on behalf of the Learned Attorney General of India, who couldn't be here, and on my behalf, I wish all of you a very happy 75th Independence Day. Friends, today, during the morning speech of the Honorable Prime Minister, one of the major things which the Honorable Prime Minister emphasized was about digital India and how the spectrum of this country is changing from snake charmers to mouse charmers, the digital people. It is now for us, the legal fraternity to help the institution develop the digital dispensation of justice, and we are happy to note that that has started, though at a very, very low level, at a very, very initial level. Most of the judges are using digital technology. Illiterate people like me, technologically illiterate people, have also started at least learning technology, and it is time that within very short period of time we may enter into digital dispensation of justice. Friends, today when we are celebrating 75th year of our country's independence, we cannot forget that the only profession, the only field which has contributed immensely is the legal fraternity. Several lawyers, several eminent counsels, they left everything and started the mission of getting freedom for this country. And even after getting the freedom would have been incomplete if the fundamental rights of the citizens of a free country are not protected. And even after independence, the real independence movement of protecting fundamental rights of citizens continued by our own community, not to undermine the contribution of any other community. We should not only be proud of the contribution which our forefathers made, which the eminent councils made, but we should own that as a responsibility to carry forward, to ensure that the independence which we gained before 75 years is meaningful for the last man on the street. Friends, I am thankful to the Bar Association for giving me an opportunity to interact, and I really thank every one of you who have gathered here to show the solidarity of our march for independence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tushar sir. Learning Attorney General for India had a difficulty, and the moment we said to Tushar sir, he immediately agreed for our function. Thank you, sir. And the role the lawyers played, sir, for the independence of this country, and the role which the lawyers have been playing for last 75 years is for everyone to see. May I now request Mr. Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate and President SCBA, to kindly deliver his address.
My Lord the Chief Justice of India, Justice U.U. Lalit, Chief Justice Designate, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, the Honorable Law Minister, Honorable Judges of this court in attendance today here, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General for India, Mr. Pradeep Rai, Vice President of the SCBA, Rahul Kaushik, members of the SCORA, members of the Executive Committee of the SCBA. First of all, friends, a very, very happy Independence Day to all of you. It's a very special independence because a young democracy, a vibrant democracy, is completing 75 years. And according to me, the right way forward is to do a course correction. And the best way to do course correction is, according to me, think of our freedom fighters. Probably none of them would be alive today after 75 years. Think of our freedom fighters and think of how they would have been visualizing this country, whether they would be happy with the things that are going on, or whether there would be some repent in their mind that probably what course they had set for this country is not happening. I think that's the best way to introspect. Two areas where I feel that we really need a serious reform and serious introspection is relating to the justice delivery. One is with regard to the appointment of judges, and the other is of course with regard to the quality of legislatures. I'll deal with the second point first. When Dr. Ambedkar wrote the constitution, he said that one regret he had was that he could not provide for qualification of legislators. And in the Constituent Assembly discussions, it was noted that no need to provide any qualification, no need to worry for what kind of leaders we'll get, because every time our important leaders were jailed by the Britishers, new leaders came up in that area and kept on the movement. Jailing a couple of them did not make the movement suffer. And we regularly saw mushrooming of new and new leaders. But today, after 75 years, if we see 43% of our legislators having criminal antecedents, I think we need a course correction. I think we need to amend, because no individual political party can take the initiative of ensuring that people with criminal antecedents are not elected, because if they don't give ticket to somebody because they've been winning, the other party will. So I beseech the Honorable Law Minister who's present here today to seriously think in this line, that if there is a law, there is a level playing field, then definitely we will be able to have a better parliament. And if we can have a better parliament, then there will be better lawmaking, there will be more lucid discussions on lawmaking. The people, the justice delivery will ultimately benefit if lawmaking gets better. As far as judges' appointment is concerned, I was initially in favor of the collegium system. But the way it has worked in these years, I am completely disheartened. Now, the tendency is that collegium members, especially at the High Court, are more interested in making judges whom each one of them know, rather than trying to find the best names. And this is my third term as president, and since 2018 was my first term. My effort to get Supreme Court lawyers elevated has come with a complete stumbling block, because nobody is interested in good names. And that is where the fallacy lies. Once in a while we have a person from the Supreme Court getting elevated, but that is only when one of the collegium members here tries to push their candidature. And that is not a healthy thing at all. The system should be such, when you take this responsibility, this power to appoint judges, it comes with a huge amount of responsibility to find the best names. And I can assure all of you here that the best names may not be interested in becoming judges. They have to be requested, goaded to get elevated, to serve the institution. Because if the quality of judges goes down, justice delivery will suffer. So these are two areas where, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, or the justice delivery is concerned, we need to introspect. And if we introspect, I'm sure way forward will be better lawmaking and better justice delivery. I remember when a good judge takes a particular roster, the pendency in the roster goes away overnight. Even when you elevate people from the lower judiciary, it should be only on the basis of the disposals that they do, rather than only on seniority. So there are several issues which I am sure, if our freedom fighters were there, and if they were to think back and say what all correction needs to be done, these are some things which come to my mind. With these words, friends, I once again wish all of you a very 75th Independence Day, and I'm sure in the years to come, our country already is progressing economically. Infrastructure, we are making something, India is becoming one of the best countries in the world. If we do some corrections in justice delivery, lawmaking, it will go a long way in pitching India as the #1 country in the world. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Vikas sir. Today is just not a day of celebration, it's time for introspection also, where we have lagged and what all improvements are still required. With this, may I now request Mr. Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, to kindly give his address.
Honorable Chief Justice of India, Mr. N.V. Ramana ji, Chief Justice Designate, Justice U.U. Lalit ji, all the Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, the learned Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, President of Supreme Court Bar Association, Vikas Singh, his colleagues Pradeep Kumar Rai, Rahul Kaushik, all the advocate friends, and people from media fraternity. First of all, I must thank the Supreme Court Bar Association for inviting me. Last year, the President told me he had sent an invitation. I never received it. So we left it inconclusive. Whose fault was that? Which led to my absence. But this year I am extremely delighted to be confirmed participant, and I am delighted to be part of this celebration. This year is very, very special because we are celebrating 75 years of India's independence. My best wishes to everyone, those who are here and every part of the country, and especially from the legal fraternity, to have a wonderful Independence Day and also Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, because from now on till 2047 we will be celebrating Amrit Kal, 25 years approaching the centenary celebration, and government has already set many targets for which we have to be ready now, and India has to be a developed country by 2047, when our great nation will be celebrating our 100 years of independence. Today in the morning also, Honorable Prime Minister had laid down a very strong vision for which we all will have to work together as a team. Without teamwork, nothing can be achieved. So, judiciary, legislature, executive, we are part of the same team. We are different organs of the same state. We need to work seamlessly, very coordinatedly together, so that what other members have said, that justice delivery is ultimate goal of us, all of us, we can definitely achieve our goal. Since it's an Independence Day, I will not make a long speech by taking advantage of the Independence Day. We all are independent, but by making a long speech, but one or two points definitely in a very informal manner, taking advantage of this informal gathering, I would like to make certain points, not long points. First of all, today and since last 3 days, I have been receiving lots of photographs and lots of reports from the subordinate courts, subordinate judges to the High Court and the Supreme Court. Beautiful pictures. All court buildings are decorated in tricolor across the country. That shows judiciary has taken a lead role in the celebration of this Independence Year and Amrit Mahotsav. So from here, from this premises of the Apex Court of India, the Supreme Court, I would like to give my special gratitude, and also to thank and appreciate all those members of the judiciary, especially in the high courts and lower judiciary, for making the Independence Day celebration very memorable. Secondly, many people think that we, judiciary and executive and legislature, to some extent, we work very differently. Actually, we work closely. But because of the sensitivity And because of misunderstanding to some extent, we seem to work separately. And at times, we try to ignore each other's issues. There's nothing wrong in somebody who is occupying a constitutional post fighting for the preservation of its independence as well as its authority. But at times you have to understand what is the story on the other side of the fence. In the parliament also, I don't talk about the issues on the streets. Parliament also, many of the honorable members of parliament, they will question the law minister. I have been in parliament for a long time, but I could feel closely because I stand in the parliament as a law minister, and people ask the question to the law minister why there are a pendency of cases, why there are so much of delay in delivery of justice, why there are so many issues which are now commonly seen in public domain, in discussion in the social media and sometimes in the electronic media and print media. They question me, and I at times I become helpless because I can't answer in definite term because I respect judiciary. Taking advantage of my privilege in the house, I could also speak like the way other members speak, but I have to also understand that I have to come back to the judiciary, I have to talk to Chief Justice, I have to interact with the judges, so I have to understand. I have a Lakshman Rekha with me which I will never dare to cross. So whenever I interact with my colleagues, I tell them it is not that any organ of our state is functioning less than the other one. The fact that our country is very unique, so the challenges are also very unique. If I say each judge disposes of 40-50 cases in a day, which is unique in the world. I've tried to gather information in the other developed, more so-called highly developed democratic nations. No country has this kind of workload which our judges are handling. But this applies to everybody again. Now when I was in England for parliamentary interaction program in 2004, I was much younger, very exuberant young member of parliament. So my interaction was with the senior most MP of the House of Commons. So the senior most MP in the House of Commons is known as the father of the house. His name, he's still alive, he has moved on to the House of Lords, Sir Patrick Cormack. We spent 2 days in his constituency called South Staffordshire, and we interacted. I also learned so many things, and more shocking was what he learned from me. There, each constituency, each Lok Sabha, what they call the member of the House of Commons, is 70,000 voters. And now in India, average each member of parliament represents 3 million. And there, the voters don't go to the MP's house to seek help. There is no long queue early morning in front of the house of the members of parliament to seek education help, to seek medical help, to seek electricity connection, all kind of police case, so many issues, which cannot be, confined to one subject, spectrum of issues. So even when I was member of parliament before becoming minister, even if you sit throughout the day, you will never finish meeting all the people who are waiting to meet the local MP. At the same time, an MP is expected to perform his parliamentary duties. He has to be part of the proceedings in the house. He has to be part of the parliamentary committees. The member of parliament is also part of many international delegations. He has to attend some international functions to represent the country, to represent the parliament. So all these issues which are unique to India, the only country which is larger than India in size and population is China, which is not democratic. So no country can face the problem which India is facing. In the same manner, the Indian judiciary, Indian legislature or Indian executive faces a unique challenge, which sometimes as a member of the legislature I fail to appreciate what the challenges judiciary face, and the judiciary also fails to understand what the executive is facing or the legislature is facing. It is not easy to handle the position which you hold in India. It's very unique. It's very easy to pass comment and very easy to tell legislature should do this, executive should do that, judiciary should finish all the pending cases in 2 years' time. It's very easy to make sweeping comments. It's not easy when you really go inside and find out and feel the pinch of the shoes. So that is why I always feel that we have to work together. If we don't work together, we will not understand each other. If we don't understand each other, we will never be able to solve the problem of this country. We have to come together. There is no excuse in that. And there are challenges in every sphere of life. But at the same time, I think the government's proactive, because government, by virtue of being the executive, by virtue of being the authority to do all the executive works, the executive has a larger responsibility. That is why Honorable Prime Minister, he has very clearly laid down the priorities of the government, including government's commitment towards establishing a robust judiciary in our country. I know without government's proactive and all very kind of a supportive role, it is difficult for judiciary to perform its duty in isolation. That is why today whenever I meet any judge, whether a civil judge, a district judge, high court judge or Supreme Court judge, I learn a lot, which I have never understood. I have been in parliament for a long time, but which I never understood those issues which I am learning now. And I don't mind learning everything every day. Life itself is a process of learning. Many people may tell that Kiren Rijiju doesn't know law. Many people may say that I don't have a long, that experience of legal practice or understanding about the laws. But keeping that views aside, it doesn't affect me, because I feel that I have a very clear-cut role to play as a bridge between judiciary and the executive, and to some extent the Parliament of India. So I will continue to play that role. I have lots of issues, but as I promised, I will not take long time. But during this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, I think there should be more occasions where we come together. One of the best occasions I have been seeing since last more than a year is through the activities of the Nalsa, which is very close to my heart, and I feel all the judges are supportive of the actions and all the initiatives taken by the Nalsa, earlier led by Justice Ramana ji. Later it was very actively led by Justice Lalit ji, and the leadership will fall upon the next coming, whoever takes over the executive chairmanship of the Nalsa. We will continue to work together, and once again thank you for inviting me here. And whenever the events which happens within the judiciary complex or anywhere, I always try to make sure that I attend the function, because attending the function and to be with the legal fraternity, the judges and the lawyers, it gives me lots of confidence to deal with my colleague MPs. So I'm more well equipped when I meet you more. So I will keep interacting with you, keep coming to your functions. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. The convention always has been, the law minister always used to come for the Independence Day function. Just to make up for the last year, we confirmed thrice with sir that he has got the invitation this year. Our country has unique challenges, as pointed out by sir. Justice delivery system can further improve with a better coordination between judiciary and executive. And yes, Nalsa has been doing a brilliant job under the leadership of Chief Justice of India designate Rijiju Lalit. Supreme Court of India would like to release a book, Telugu version of Courts of India. May I request Secretary General to introduce the book?
Honorable Shri Justice N.V. Ramana, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, Honorable Shri Justice Rijiju Lalit,
Chief Justice Designate, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court of India, Shri Tushar Mehta, Solicitor General of India, Shri Vikas Singh, President Supreme Court Bar Association, Shri Pradeep Kumar Roy, Vice President Supreme Court Bar Association, Shri Rahul Kaushik, Secretary Supreme Court Bar Association, Shri Rohit Pandey, Joint Secretary Supreme Court Bar Association, office bearers and members of SCB and SCORA, law officers, senior advocates and other members of the legal fraternity, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Supreme Court of India has published a historic account of Indian courts titled Courts of India Past to Present in the year 2016. This encyclopedia on Indian courts was a result of thorough research undertaken by team comprising honorable judges, advocates, academicians and researchers. The book was very well received within the country and abroad. On popular demand, the Registry of the Supreme Court of India has undertaken the project of translating this book into Indian languages. We have already brought out Assamese, Hindi, Marathi, Kannada and Bangla version of this book. Today we are ready with the Telugu version of this book. With this we have made this book available in 7 languages. There cannot be a more befitting occasion than celebration of the 75th Independence Day to release the Telugu translation of the book Courts of India Past to Present, and there cannot be a better coincidence than a Telugu Bidda releasing the Telugu version. I sincerely thank Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Shri Justice N.V. Ramana, for consenting to release the Telugu version of the book. We have prepared just a few volumes of Telugu version. It will soon be made available. We are here before this august gathering of honorable dignitaries and members of the legal fraternity to announce the release of the book Telugu translation of the Courts of India Past to Present, Bharat Nyayasthanalu Nati Nunchi Netu Varku. Thank you, Lordship.
Sir, please. Sir.
I request Honorable Justice U.L. Lalit to please grace the dais.
Thank you, Mr. Bansal. May I now request Honorable Mr. Justice N.V. Ramana, Chief Justice of India, to kindly give his address.
Hello, sir.
Honorable Law Minister Sri Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Chief Justice of India Designate, Brother and Sister Judges of the Supreme Court of India, Sri Tushar Mehta, Solicitor General of India, Sri Vikas Singh, President of the Supreme Court Bar Association, Sri Pradeep Kumar Roy, Vice President of Supreme Court Bar Association, Sri Rohit Pandey, Joint Secretary Supreme Court Bar Association, office bearers and members of the Supreme Court Bar Association, SCORA, law officers, senior advocates and other members of the legal fraternity, other distinguished guests, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. On this occasion of 27th anniversary of Indian independence, my heartiest greetings to all of you and the Indians who are spread all over the world. Last year at the same occasion when I spoke extemporally, some problem has come out. To avoid that controversy, I will first read out the prepared text and later on I will react to one of the things. Because the earlier speakers, all of them are independent people, they can talk anything and they can later on condemn it also or revise it also. I have no such opportunity up to 27th August. So that's why better I must read my prepared text. The struggle of independence was not merely for the freedom of colonial power. It was for dignity for all. It was for laying the foundation of the democracy. This foundation was laid down through years of detailed deliberation in the Constituent Assembly, which produced the most progressive and scientific document, that is the Constitution of India. The goal to establish a democracy where a nation is built on aspiration of people and where equality takes the center stage. To have a democratic form of governance, as most importance for us is to hold the society together. Dr. Ambedkar said, I quote, democracy is essential an attitude of respect and reverence towards fellow men. I unquote. Today we are celebrating the transformational journey of 75 years in which a mere colony merged at the largest democracy of the world. All over the world, Indians are occupying key positions and are contributing in a big way in shaping the global future. They are all products of independent India. We must thank the founders of independent India for their vision and for setting up great institutions of learning. Now, as we sit and cherish the journey we have undertaken so far, we must not forget the contribution of the great freedom fighters and legal minds who made this journey possible. Through the struggle of independence, lawyers like Mahatma Gandhi, Motilal Nehru, Sardar Patel, C.R. Das, Andhra Kesari Tanguturi Prakasham Pantulu, Lala Lajpat Rai, Saifuddin Kichlu and P.V. Rajamannar fought their battles from courts to streets. The voices of these nationalist lawyers against the colonial laws and unlawful detentions touched the nerve of the nation and gave a new impetus to our freedom struggle. Similarly, the story of framing our constitution would be incomplete without remembering the contribution made by the lawyers. Many of the drafters left their lucrative practice to be part of this endeavor. Dr. Ambedkar, Dr. Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Purushottam Das Tandon, T.T. Krishnamachari, G.B. Pant, Gopalaswamy Iyengar were a few of the celebrated members of the Constituent Assembly. It was their dedication for the people, sacrifice the cause and deep commitment to the future which shaped our Constitution. Under the constitutional framework, each organ was given a unique obligation. The notion that justice is only the responsibility of the court is dispelled by Article 38 of the Indian Constitution, which mandates the state to secure justice, social, economic and political. Every deed of each organ of the state has to be in the spirit of the Constitution. I must note that all the three organs of the state, the executive, the legislature and the judiciary, are equal repositories of the constitutional trust. The Indian judiciary, since its independence, has strived to fulfill constitutional aspirations. The judiciary has, through interpretative exercise, has also strengthened the various institutions, be it the Election Commission of India, CVC, CAG, etc. The legislature may not be able to foresee the issue which might come up during implementation. By interpretation of statutes, the courts have given effect to the true intent of the legislature. The courts have breathed life into the statutes by making them relevant to the contemporary times. Our judicial system is unique not only because of its commitment towards the written constitution and its spirit, but also because of the immense faith reposed by the people in the system. People are confident that they will get relief and justice from the judiciary. It gives them the strength to pursue a dispute. They know that when things go wrong, the judiciary will stand up by them. The Indian Supreme Court is the guardian of the Constitution in the world's largest democracy. The Constitution gives wide-ranging powers and jurisdiction to the Supreme Court to do complete justice. This power is to absolute justice. Under Article 142 brings to the life the motto of the Indian Supreme Court, that is Yatho Dharma Sato Jaya. That means where there is Dharma, there is victory. The act of doing justice transcends beyond the laws. I was reminded the quote of Nani Palkhiwala. Dharma lives in the hearts of public men. When it dies there, no constitution, no law, no amendment can save it. Our constitution is the fundamental document which regulates the relationship between the citizens and the government. While it has granted us inalienable rights, it places upon us certain fundamental duties. The fundamental duties are not merely
pedantic or technical. They are all incorporated and the key to social transformation. Our framers of the Constitution imagined a nation where the citizens were alert, able to make the right decisions. In order to contribute meaningfully to the society, and the citizens must first understand the Constitution and its origins. It is imperative for the people to understand the system and its nuances, the powers and the limitations. That is why I am very keen to spreading the constitutional culture in India. Language is a significant key to accessibility. It has been my personal endeavor to advocate for the Indianization of judiciary. Our systems will truly belong to the people when we honor and cherish our diversity. The lawyers are best placed to be ambassadors in promoting constitutional culture and spirit. While it is the mandate of the Constitutional Court to uphold human rights and fundamental freedoms, the lawyers play an instrumental role in leading the courts in the right direction. It is essential for each generation to share with successive generations the experiences and struggles of the past. My caution to the young professionals is that there are no shortcuts to success. Hard work and sincerity always pay in the long run. One should not lose the hope. Remember your commitment towards the society. This situation needs you vigor and freshness to your thoughts. I urge every citizen to be a meaningful stakeholder in our democracy. We all must try to imbibe the constitutional philosophy in its true spirit. Today, I see the tricolor fluttering high above us. I cannot help but take the pride and remember Kirtiseshru Sri Pingali Venkaya, who is the architect of the national flag, who hails from Telugu land, who designed the national flag and identity of the independent India. Unfortunately, COVID cases are on the rise once again. Please careful, I request all of you, don't drop the guard. I remember when I take the Chief Justice, once the country pandemic was nearly destroyed us. Not even my family members could attend the swearing-in ceremony. There were very few everywhere. Many near and dear ones have lost lives. Lawyers, judges, officers and the registry were scared to touch the documents. The court has inherited the backlog of nearly a year on the account of COVID and their lockdowns. In the last 16 months, we could physically assemble only 55 days. I wish situation was different and would be more productive. It is just and natural for people to have high expectations, but regrettably, the forces of nature were against us. I hope in the near future the situation will become normal and court will function in full capacity. The exercise, however, the exercise of the working of the judiciary still is an ongoing exercise. We all the stakeholders will stand mission equality. And at this time, I want to thank the registry and the staff particularly who worked tirelessly during the COVID period, and some of them lost their lives also. I thank the computer committee, Justice Dhananjay Chandachod, Justice Kanvilkar and other brothers and technicians and engineers who work day and night to create an infrastructure and create online platforms to meet the demand and take care of the situation in online. Of course, there are some problems because we can't equate ourselves with a commercial organization or some government departments. Judiciary is altogether different. When we have to introduce certain software, certain platforms, we have to take care of the protection and other issues also. That is the reason there's sometimes we are lagging behind in the computerization as well as the online systems. But now I think we are working with a full-fledged systems, and again improvements will take place under the guidance of Justice Dhananjay. And so far as the Law Minister is concerned, he is saying that I am not a lawyer, I don't have much legal knowledge. More than legal knowledge, your experience, common sense and commitment is important. That you had sufficiently, you will take care and you help the judiciary and the government to uphold the rule of law. So far as the Honorable President Vikas ji is concerned, I expected at least up to 27th he won't raise the demands. But again, anyhow, he brought one of the two issues which I am concerned, particularly about the appointment of judges. You all know that you are all constitutional lawyers. You know the procedure of appointment of judges. You know the rules, regulations, judgments, everything. And on several occasions when he raised this issue on this very same platform, I answered. And now once again I answer. That's all. I don't want to elaborate anything. I leave it there. And however, I appreciate the president and his colleagues, team, vice president, as well as secretary and all that. The commitment and the stubbornness and taking up the issues, whether it may be allotment of chambers, lunch room, office room, whatever it is, he is relentlessly and fought for those demands. He is successful in most of the demands. I congratulate him. I appreciate him. I wish him more successes in his tenure. And my brother Justice Lalit is going to take care of the issues which he is going to raise. So I thank you once again, all of you, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was because of the learned members who were part of the Constituent Assembly which gave us this constitution which has stood the test of times. We thank you also for the chambers and the auditorium and other things in your tenure, sir. And our demands are ready for Justice Lalit after 27th August. With this, may I now request Mr. Rohit Pandey, Joint Secretary SCB, to kindly give the vote of thanks.
आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव में एक भक्ति गाने के साथ आप सभी लोग भी गाइएगा। हर करम अपना करेंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए, दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए। भारत माता की। I wish to thank Honorable Chief Justice of India, Mr. N.V. Ramana, Honorable Mr. Justice U. Lalit, Chief Justice of India Designate, and other Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of India for gracing the occasion. We are extremely grateful to Mr. Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice. I wish to thank Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, learned law officers, Honorable retired judges of Supreme Court and High Court. I wish to thank Mr. Manoj Mishra, President Skora, Mr. Sinhasis Mukherjee, Vice President Skora, Mr. Devbrat, Secretary Skora, and President and Secretaries, office bearers and members of the Executive Committee of different bar associations. Mr. V.K. Bansal, Secretary General, Mr. Rajesh Goyal, and other staffs of Supreme Court, press, electronic media persons, and other distinguished guests. Honorable members of the bar for gracing the occasion. I thank SCBI staff and registry staff for their cooperation for making this function a success. Thank you. Kindly join us for tea.
May I now request everyone to kindly stand up for national anthem.
भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा, द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा, उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
भारत माता की।
May I now request the executive members of SCBA to kindly join us on the stage.
चलो
रखो रखो आ रहा हूँ एक साइड साइड आइए आइए
ये हमारे 6 बार के पेटेंट था।
अरे एक मिनट सामने करना एक मिनट आप लोग इतना ही होता है बाहर भी दिखाना है
हेलो सर, हाँ भाई
चलिए चलिए चलिए
पीछे सर थोड़ा सा फोन तक लीजिए प्लीज आप पैर करवा लो पीछे पे दिखता नहीं बेटा कुछ सीधा क्या सीधा खड़ा है ना सीधा खड़ा दिखा लेवल लेना पूरा वाइड है वाइड and growing. We add every year. Everybody wants to do. आप practice नहीं भी करता वो भी criteria of having an interview with all that. We try to screen people like we have only regular practitioners. नहीं उसका खाली एक खाली हमने ना मतलब सब मेरे सब स्नैक्स
चलिए चलो आगे चलो
Yes, Vice President, he spoke to me.
ठीक है वो आपके यहाँ कंफर्मेशन ठीक है
सेल्फी लेने वाले को ना फोटो में साइन देना सेल्फी लेनी है